tagged you in it, so your people should be able to see. All right. Cheers, everyone. I am Amy Mitchell with Houses of Windsor, and this is Virtual Tea Time with Amy. And my special guest today is Melissa Wing of Thrive. Hello, Melissa. How are you?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
Good. Thank you for coming on. So before we get started, I did mention in the comments that Melissa and I know each other from, I put hashtag BACC, so that's the British American Chamber of Commerce. And we were both on a, what was it, a business call, right? Like was it a Tuesday morning call?
Yeah, they're doing a weekly Tuesday morning call, and it's really cool because the mayor even joins to give a COVID update, which is really great. So you get to hear from the mayor every week, and they're doing these calls every week. It's really a great group to check out if you haven't already.
That's true. That's a good point. Yeah, I'll have to remember because today is Monday, right? It's only Monday now.
Yes.
So I'll have to try to remember to put the link in it for, because that means it'll be tomorrow at 9:30 Tuesday mornings. So if anybody wants to catch that. But so Melissa reached out to me, right? Like we wanted to have like a one-to-one, and you were very patient with me because I kept losing track of it in my email. So thank you for staying on top of that.
No problem.
But before we get too far into it, Melissa, where are you calling from and what are you drinking?
Okay, so I'm calling from my home like everyone else right now because of COVID.
Yes. And where are you located? Like not your address, but your city?
In Auburndale, Florida.
Okay.
So I'm a little out there away from everybody.
Okay.
I am drinking a lavender tea that my husband actually got me as a Valentine's Day present.
Oh, nice. And I see you've got your really pretty little teacups. Are they like white or silver? What color?
They are white with a silver trim on the top and the bottom.
Okay.
And then it has some pretty flowers all around the rim. And the same plate.
Cool. And you said, and before we were live, we were talking about your teacup, and you said it was gifted to you from your mother-in-law, correct? It's like the family tea set.
It's a very old set. My father-in-law actually got it when he was in Vietnam fighting for our country.
Right. Well, that's really cool though that you got a really special like Vietnamese family tea set.
I love that.
Cool. So I have not a family teacup. it will be a family teacup. It'll go to Piper. But, so I have one of my favorite newer cups that it's a queen cup, and it says "Long May She Reign," and it's actually originally from the Whittard like tea shops that are over in England and stuff. But I got it from what is it? The Windsor Rose Tea Room that's in, what is that, Mount Dora, which, have you been to Mount Dora before?
I love Mount Dora.
It's so pretty. I've only been that one time because I don't live close to it at all, but it is so pretty. I want to go back for sure.
You can walk around there for hours and just find all kinds of cool treasures.
Right. And and the tea I'm drinking is vanilla chai. I was in the mood for chai today. I think it's probably the rainy weather. It's like
I love chai tea myself.
It's really good. So I have a chocolate chai and a vanilla chai that I sell on my online gift shop. And the chocolate chai is like a really good, stronger, like spicy chai. And then the vanilla is like a more mellow chai.
So I've never tried chocolate. I might have to try that out.
It's really good. Like it does taste, I mean, it is chocolatey, but it's got like the chai, like cinnamon spices and stuff in it. It's pretty strong.
Yum.
But it's good. So Melissa, why don't you tell everyone a little bit about what you do?
Okay, I work for a company called Thrive, and what we do is we have a CRM system, which is a digital database of your clients, and it is very marketing centric. So it kind of gives you the tools that you need to run several things of your business all in one. So you can do your estimates, invoicing, and billing, your scheduling, all of your social media on the same platform. You can also do your online presence, keep up with your reputation management, and so much more. I could keep talking, but I'm not trying to bore you guys today.
You're all right. Well, so I'm trying to think of, because I mean, I was so excited about it when I learned everything about it. So for people who are, we'll say like in the what business entrepreneurial world, the world that like, uses these things. So for people who are like me that maybe are using like Hootsuite, and then they're also using MailChimp, and then they're also using like, they've got like a bunch of different systems or whatever that they're using. So yours is that it's all in one place, right? And it does all those things, right?
Yes, and instead of having to input the information several times because you're using several different software programs, you input it once and you can really keep track of the emails that you send out to the same client and the appointments that you set, and just really see the progression of everyone that you put into the CRM without having to look at 5, 6 different platforms.
Right, right. And you said, and then that's easier to like track what like the KPIs, like the key performance indicators, because you get like all
Yes,
the analytics for everything in one spot. You're not
yes.
trying to look at each one.
You can
Um,
even answer all of anyone who responds to any of your social media anywhere. You can respond to it straight from the app, so you don't
which
have to log
I
into
love
different
that.
platforms.
I remember when you told me that, I was like, wait, what? Like, I don't have to try to look at each little notification and catch, each one. So that's really cool. And did you say, how long have you been working with Thrive
At this point, I have been with Thrive for 7.5 years.
then? Okay, cool. And you said it's actually a really old company, right? Like, haven't they been around for a long time?
Yes, we've actually been around for 130 years. We were the first phone book company when that literally was
Right,
all you needed to advertise. And obviously, as times have changed, we've grown with the times and
right,
been able to withstand 130 years of growth.
right. Which is amazing to go from phone book technology to like what you guys have today to evolve into that. That's awesome. That's
Well,
really
Google,
cool.
I mean, the phone book was Google.
Right.
Either you were in
Well,
the
yeah,
phone
you're right.
book or you weren't. And if you
Right.
weren't, people couldn't find you.
That's true. That's a really good point. Yeah. I still remember phone book days, especially trying to find like if a friend's number or something, I remember more because I was a kid. I remember more so what did you
The
call them?
white
Like, is it the
pages.
white pages? Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
It was like personal pages. What was it? Yeah, the individuals. Yeah, yeah. But I remember, yeah, flipping as a kid, flipping past the yellow pages to get to where I wanted to go. So really cool. So let's see. So I wanted to ask you. I want to know what is, because since we met through the British Chamber and we have obviously talked business since I'm like excited about I know certain things about your business. But what I want to know is what is your like obsession or like a special interest? Like what is your thing that you're really into?
I honestly, I'm kind of like an old lady at heart. I'm obsessed with gardening.
Yeah?
And yes, and I grow everything from seeds, and I have every herb you could think of.
Oh wow.
And I actually have what's called an arrow garden, and it's where you can actually grow the seeds in your house. Like it's a
Oh.
small thing, and it has a grow light,
Uh-huh.
and it's hydroponics. And so
Yeah.
I grow everything in there, and I'm able to grow all of my lettuce.
Oh my goodness.
So
Oh
right in the
wow.
kitchen. So I just snip off the lettuce for
Yeah.
my salad for the day, which I love because I can eat salads every day.
That's
And
awesome.
yeah, I spend a lot of time gardening.
That's really cool. So you're growing it in the house like completely. You don't just start it in the house and then like plant it outside. Is
Oh, I
that
do. Most
oh you
except
okay.
for the lettuce,
The lettuce
because
you can
it's
grow
hard to
inside?
grow lettuce here because it's so hot.
Okay.
Besides that, I'll start the seeds and then transplant them outside.
Wow. That's really cool. So then if it's growing in the house, the lettuce, is it do you have to wash it? before you eat it?
No.
That's what I
I
was
mean, I
thinking.
do
It's like it's
have
not
one of
bad for
those
anything.
salad spinners, and so
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
rinse it off and do that. But no, you don't even really have to do anything because it's grown with water.
Right, that's what
And
I was thinking. Like, there's not really anything dirty about it.
yeah, I mean, I got into the inside growing of the lettuce and stuff during COVID
Oh,
because
yeah.
I can go through so much lettuce, and of course, everybody needed a hobby during
Right,
COVID, so I
right.
made that mine. But waking up in the morning and seeing just how much it's grown, because lettuce grows really, really fast.
Really?
So it can, I can cut it one day and it'll grow a whole nother salad the next day. It's kind of crazy.
That's really cool.
Um, so I've been spending a lot of time with my garden, and then I even have a rose garden at my house.
Oh, awesome. That sounds really pretty. So, well, real quick though on the lettuce. I'm very interested in this lettuce. So, is it like what like iceberg lettuce or are you growing different types of lettuce? What do you
Diff-
how do you do it?
all different types of lettuce.
Okay.
Iceberg, I guess, is kind of hard to grow here, so I'm not
Okay.
growing iceberg, but I do have romaine
Okay.
lettuce, and
Mhm.
then two more leafy lettuces, and
Yeah.
then some, like, if you get like the salad mix
Yeah.
from those
Right.
types of lettuces.
Yeah,
So
okay.
a variety of everything.
Oh, cool. That's really neat. So, and then you have a rose garden outside as well.
Hmm.
Yeah, and do you have like I guess how many types of roses do you have? Or do
Um,
you need to?
I as far as rose plants go, I want to say like 20.
Oh wow. Oh, super cool.
And that's just like my rose garden. And then we have other roses that are more ornamental.
Mhm.
But I can't say I started the rose garden. I just moved into this house in November and they already had a rose garden. So
Oh
I just
wow.
made it even better.
That's awesome. So you weren't into roses until you moved happened to move into a rose garden.
Well, I loved roses, but
Yeah,
when you,
you weren't growing them not like
no,
yeah.
not that, like I had a rose bush and
I see.
now I have a lot more than I could
Right.
probably count.
Yeah. That's really cool. So do you do so I only know limited gardening stuff just from what I picked up from my mom. 'Cause my mom's all about like flowers and everything. So I know you always have to like deadhead them, right? Like you have to like cut the little bud things like once they're done so that they grow
Yes.
back. So I feel like I always remember there being a lot. Like so if you've got 20 bushes or whatever, like are you just out there all the time?
Um, I usually do it on the weekends, and
Okay.
you're not kidding. Like I have to. I keep looking this way because I'm looking at the rose garden,
Right,
but
right.
sometimes I'll just do a row at a time, and that's
Mhm.
it. Oh, and in my garden, there's
Mhm.
bunnies everywhere.
Oh my gosh. And
So
do they cause a problem or no? They don't eat
no,
anything?
not at
Oh,
all.
oh that's awesome.
But we always get to look outside and see bunnies. I can see one right now.
That's adorable. That's super cool. Are they? I guess I haven't really looked noticed rabbits around here. Are the rabbits in Florida? Are they all like brown, like a wild rabbit?
Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
a little brown bunnies, and they've
yeah.
just recently had babies. So I have a bunch
Oh,
of baby bunnies everywhere. It's the coolest
oh,
thing.
that's so cute. And I take it you don't have any outdoor cats.
No outdoor cats.
That's good. We had indoor outdoor cats growing up, so I remember baby bunny season was usually sad because they'd try to gift us one on the front porch.
We do. I mean, thankfully for me, they don't come out until the evening, but we do have really big owls, and I'm
Oh,
sure that they
yeah,
definitely go after some of the bunnies, but
right.
I've never had to see it because
Oh, okay. That's good. Yeah, the owls aren't trying to gift them to you the way
yeah.
cats do.
Uh,
Oh man. Well, that's really cute. And so when did you get into like as far as you said you grow things from seeds. When did you get into that kind of gardening? Has it been a while?
probably about 10 years ago now, and it's because of something. The very first thing I started growing was a pineapple, and it was because
Oh.
my son was younger, and I
Hmm.
wanted to teach him how things grow. and we were always doing little experiments. And we cut the top off of the pineapple we had bought at the store, and we
Mhm.
planted it. And then I found out pineapples take 2 years to grow.
Oh my gosh.
So that kind of turned into a little bit of a failed experiment because I wanted to show him how things grow.
Right.
And we'd go out and look at this pineapple every day and nothing. So then we started doing tomatoes and peppers, and those
Okay.
grow pretty quick, and there's
Mhm.
usually a good bounty of
Mhm.
vegetables on there. So he got to learn how to
Right.
grow food basically.
That's
And
awesome.
as we became more and more successful, because there were definitely some times where I would kill everything, I just started getting more and more into it. Like, and one, it saves money at the grocery store,
Yeah.
especially during COVID. There's certain
Mhm.
things you can't even buy, but if
Right.
you're growing it, you don't have to worry about it.
Right.
Um, and then there's a lot of herbs that get rid of mosquitoes.
Mm. Oh,
So
geez. Yeah, that's good.
when you have an herb garden, you usually don't have mosquitoes around it.
Oh,
And
cool.
um, now I'm just obsessed, and I go on Pinterest and I find out how to take care of certain plants. And
Mhm.
I have more plants on the inside of my house now, but vegetable gardening plus any type of flowering.
Mhm.
But we have 3 acres here at our new house.
Oh,
So,
wow.
and the person who lived here before, she really liked having different plants and stuff. So
Mhm.
it's been an adventure trying to find out how to take care of them all, and
Right.
um,
That's
just
really
cut them back and
cool. Mhm.
all that fun stuff.
That's really cool. So did the pineapple ever grow? Did you keep
It
it there for
did.
2 years? Okay.
Yes, we actually got a picture because he was so happy when we were finally able to pick it.
Yeah.
Because it's different than at the grocery store.
Mhm.
Like, a pineapple is ready when you can walk by and smell it.
Oh, okay.
And
I didn't know.
which
Yeah.
I didn't know that either. I had to look it
Right.
up on Pinterest. But so every day he would be out there once it finally did grow, and he's like, "Is it ready? Is it ready?" And I'm like, "Can you smell it?" No, then no. Um, but finally, the day that we were able to eat it, and it was the sweetest pineapple I've ever had in my life,
Really?
because they pick it too early whenever it goes to the grocery store.
Oh, right. Yeah,
So
yeah.
it was so different.
That's so cool. So how is it like a potato? You have to like dig it out of the ground, or does it like pop up out of the ground
It's
as it grows?
it actually has you know how the top of the pineapple looks?
Mhm.
That's how the bottom of the plant looks, and then
Oh,
the
okay.
pineapple sits in the middle
Oh.
of that.
Oh, cool.
And so whenever it's ready, you can just twist it off,
Mhm.
and then the part that's still there will grow a new pineapple,
Oh,
and you
wow.
can take the top off of the one that you just grew,
Right. And
grow
then
another one too. And that way, if you stagger them, then you don't have to wait 2 years. So
right, right. Oh, that's really neat. That's really cool. So, because you said you plant the just the top part of it, like,
yeah,
yeah.
the green part still sticks out, and you just cut the top off. I
Mhm.
sat mine in water for a couple of days just so that it could start to root, and then
Right.
you just barely cover it with dirt
Okay.
and leave the green part, and can
Do you have to
grow a
do much?
pineapple 2 years later.
Do you have to do much with it for the 2 years, or like it just kind of does its own thing?
Barely even touched it. I would weed around it, and that's
Yeah.
about it. And
Wow.
every once in a while, I would go around the corner and just check on it and see if it was still there. And it was fine.
That's really cool. That's really fun. So, and did you say, okay, so you told me how you got into it. Was there ever anyone in your family that was in the gardening and stuff too, though? Like I mentioned, my mom was into it, and my sister-in-law, my brother's wife, they started like a farm, like, like crops or whatever, not animals. And so they're all into that stuff. I'm a little too girly at times. I don't like I don't like the creepy crawly things that come with like planting outside.
Well, my grandfather, he was really big into gardening, mostly fruit trees, but
Mm-hmm.
he loved his roses. And
Uh,
he actually got me a yellow rose bush that he
mm-hmm.
said was mine, although it was at his house.
Yeah.
And So I just thought that was so special. So every house I've moved to since, I always had a yellow rose bush
Oh,
to
nice.
remind me of him. But yeah, I don't worry too much about most creepy crawlies, but
Hmm.
I am insanely afraid of frogs.
Oh, okay. I wasn't expecting that because I like.
I'm terrified of frogs. A snake could run over my foot and I could care less,
Nope.
but if a frog jumped on me, I would die.
Oh my gosh.
Um, a little funny story at my old house, the frogs at night would get on my door because we
Hmm.
had a porch light, and so that they would stay there. Well,
Right.
I wouldn't even leave my house at night because they intimidated me so much. So if I did have to leave, I would go out the garage door. But
Hmm.
then there was a frog that would hang out there too.
Oh my god. I love it.
So my husband would literally have to block the frog so that I could run out the door screaming and get in the car. And this never stopped. Like for
Oh my
years,
god.
he wouldn't let me get rid of the frogs. And
Right.
I think he enjoyed the fact that I was so terrified of them. But I just like literally run screaming
Oh my god.
every
So is
single time.
there, does it make a difference as far as like the degree of freaking you out, if like their colors, the size, like any of it? Or is it just like if
No,
it's a frog, it's all the same?
I don't trust them. They can jump and they could jump far, and I just don't trust them.
That's so funny. Because I'm like, yeah, frogs don't bother me. Now are lizards okay? Since there's
I
lizards everywhere.
don't care about lizards. Don't
Okay.
care about. It's so weird. I know it's the
Yeah.
weirdest thing. But my
And have
son
frogs
came.
always bothered you? Like
Yeah,
since you were a kid? Yeah, okay.
yeah. Just terrified of them. And my son just came home from work the other night, and he told me there was one on our ring doorbell.
Oh no.
And now I won't go out the front door at night because I don't know where he's hiding.
Oh my
So
goodness.
luckily, we have a lot of doors at this house, so I can
Hmm.
choose a different path of least resistance. But
Right. Oh my goodness.
just that
Yeah.
weird thing, frogs are
Right.
terrifying.
Yeah, no, the snakes I would not be okay with. But as far as, I mean, I guess we have snakes in Indiana, but I feel like if you're like out gardening, you're more likely to see it out around here since they're just like hanging out in people's yards. But uh, yeah, no, I have a bigger problem with spiders. So I am not, yeah, that's something that I'm not okay what size it is if I'm out, gardening or whatever. Not that I've done it a lot, but I've done it just enough to be disturbed by spiders, and then I'm done. So I can't, yeah, I don't want those because those I don't trust because some of them can jump.
Yes,
The jumpy ones are real bad, but you don't
jumpy
know,
thing.
like, or at least I don't know which ones are which. So,
No, it doesn't matter. I don't. My daughter was terrified of spiders when she
mhm.
was younger, to the point where um, I made a spider box out of loose leaf paper.
Yeah.
I told her it was a spider trap,
Uh-huh.
and I put glue on the bottom of it
Uh-huh.
and kind of made it like one of those brooch motel things.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I like drew spiders on it and then put like a circle and a line through it, like.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my god.
And she was able, like, she was terrified of them, and I put that right by her bed, and
Uh-huh.
she never had a problem with spiders after that because she thought that my spider box killed them all.
That's amazing. Well, good job, mom. That's a good mom, a good mom win right there.
She saw a spider in her room and she wouldn't go back in her room. She just
Oh my
was like,
goodness.
that's not my room anymore. There was a
Right.
spider there. And
Wow.
it took days, and she
Yeah.
just was adamant about it. And I tried everything, and finally the spider box that I drew with regular paper and
Right.
taped together was all she needed.
That's great. Yeah, I'm attempting. So my daughter Piper is 2.5 years old, and I'm attempting to not pass on my, like,
Phobias.
my issue, yeah, my phobias, my issues with creepy crawlies. I'm trying not to pass it on to her. If she comes by it on her own, then that's fine. But so if we see that, like, she went through a little phase for a while where she'd be like, buggies, buggies, and like if there are even ants on the ground or whatever, she like wanted picked up immediately. But I try to just be like, they're fine, they're fine, like it's just whatever. And so if there is a spider or whatever, like I just try to take care of it calmly and not make a whole thing about it. But so we'll see what she ends up getting, afraid of, because now I'm trying to think. Well, she did freak out when we saw a caterpillar the other day, which I thought was really cute, but she did not trust it. And I was trying to tell her that it was going to be a butterfly, but she was like, no, 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 no. Like, and they're doing that in preschool too. Like, but it's like she's waiting for it to be a butterfly. She's not okay with it
As a
being a
caterpillar.
Yeah, but but man, when I worked, like, I don't know, so my sister-in-law, shout out to Candace, who and my brother who do the farming stuff, she will work out at nighttime in the fields with like a little headlamp because I know because there's certain things that I guess you shouldn't pick when it's hot out, so it's better when it's like cools off or whatever. So she'll be out there, plus she is like kind of naturally a night owl anyway, so she'll be out there picking stuff. And I'm like, aren't there like you can't even see the creepy crawlies that are like around you or coming for you. And she doesn't get bothered by that at all. She's more worried about, I guess, because they're kind of out in the middle of nowhere, or it feels like it when you're out there, that it's sort of like who's in the woods around you, or like a coyote or something. But so they have I won't do it, but they have a funny call that my brother will do if he's coming out of the house to come talk to her. He does like a noise like out so that she knows he's coming. So he doesn't sneak up on her.
That's funny. That's actually really funny. But she's wearing that headlamp, so all of the bugs are coming towards her. Like,
oh no! Oh, I didn't even think about that. You're right. So gross. But yeah, to her it's just like, oh, it's just another spider. Like, you just not knock it away or whatever. I'm like, no, I can't. I don't think. I'm trying to think. I haven't had anything too gross. Well, this was like an Indiana thing too, but like when you get the mail out of the mailbox, probably because it only happened once or twice to me, I was afraid every single time that there'd be a spider hiding in the mail. And
I found a frog at my mailbox.
And you found it?
Yeah, my husband gets the mail now.
Yeah, so you understand then. Yeah, the frog in the mailbox for you is the spider in the mailbox for me. I'm like, I can't. It's so gross. So, but I did have, so in college, my roommate, which this will be a shout out to Molly. So when I was in college, my roommate Molly, okay, so I had LASIK done like last summer, but before that, I had like either glasses or contacts, and without them, I was pretty like blind. Like I couldn't see anything. Like if you were right this close to my face, I could see you. Otherwise, like you got blurry like immediately. So, so in the shower, I was always blind, and I go in to take a shower, and like I saw like just some kind of like dark coloring or whatever, and so I like go to look at the spot, and it's a spider, and I'm like, of course I'm like this close to it so that I can see it. So I kind of like freak out, and I think I must have grabbed the shampoo bottle, whatever, like killed it. Then when I come out to tell Molly my story, Molly's like, oh yeah, I saw that in there. I was like, Molly, like, why did you? I was like, why'd you leave it in there? And she was like, well, I wasn't like, she doesn't like them either, but to her it's like better just like let it be and not interact with it. I'm like, well, you could have at least told me, because I was heading in there to take a shower. Like,
yeah, a warning would be nice.
Yeah, so that was that was funny. But even worse ones once I moved to Florida was the palmetto bugs, or cockroach looking things.
Yeah.
That was in the shower one time when I was still blind as a bat.
And they fly.
Yeah, well luckily, oh geez, I don't think it ever got to the point where it was flying in the shower. I probably would have like slipped and like busted my head open. But there was one that was in my loofah one time, and I started to wash the loofah, and it came out of my leg.
Oh my gosh!
I know, it was so gross. I was like traumatized for months after that one.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So those might actually be worse than spiders now. Now that I live here. I
Yeah,
can't do those.
you don't see them that often either, but when you do, they're
Mhm.
traumatic.
They are. Even when like I'll find them because like I get like the house sprayed and everything. So like when they do appear randomly, most of the time they're dead. But it's like, where'd you come from? Like, how did you
Yeah.
get here? And
When
when
it's
did you die?
raining, when it's raining a
Oh
lot,
yeah.
that's when they try to come in because they want a
Mhm.
warm place. So
Right. Right. Oh
when it rains
man.
too much in the summer, we same here. They end up dead, but
Right.
9 times out of the 10, but they still walked in here.
Exactly. Yeah. And you still have to pick them up. Like I don't like feeling them through the clean. Like I can't.
No, no. Mm-mm.
So anyway, we were talking about everything we can't
I
stand.
know that conversation went sideways, but
Well, that's what this show is about. It's just wherever the conversation takes us. But so, do you have, if you had to choose, would you say that growing like flowery things is your favorite, or like vegetable, like things you eat, are your favorite?
I think I take more pride in the vegetables because
Okay.
I actually get to have that secondary pride of even being able to eat them.
Right, right.
So
And you can
that,
tell they taste good. They don't just look
yeah,
good.
yeah. And I mean, I'm kind of cheap, so knowing that I grew something from a 50-cent bag of
Oh, right.
seeds
Hmm.
and and that I have vegetables and like I'll annoy everyone that comes to my house. I'm like, look, I grew these cucumbers. Do you want cucumbers? Do you want tomatoes?
So what? Oh shoot, you were talking about. Oh, I know. So if someone say is has not done any gardening for real before, and they're interested in getting into it, what like advice would you have for a beginner of like what kinds of things to either start with, or like what things are pretty advanced and to like hold off on trying? Like,
The tomatoes and the peppers are the easiest.
okay.
Um, you can even buy a tomato plant
Mhm.
at Home Depot that already has tomatoes on it. So
Oh, okay.
you get like a sense of accomplishment faster because you just have to wait for them to turn.
Mhm.
But my tip of the day is if you're growing anything like tomatoes or peppers, always grow or plant marigolds very close to it
Oh.
because bugs hate the smell of marigolds.
Oh,
So the
really?
bugs that would normally eat your plants won't
Mhm.
come near the plant because of the marigolds.
Oh,
And
that's funny.
I learned that after losing a lot of different plants.
Mhm.
Um, and it's called companion planting. So
Okay.
you plant one thing with another thing, and they both do something for each other. So
Right. Oh, that's pretty cool. That's neat. I didn't know that. I know what marigolds are. I feel like, um, I don't know if I've noticed them as much down here, but yeah, like up in Indiana, it's like in the fall, it's just like everyone's got marigolds like everywhere. That's
yeah,
like the fall flower.
yeah, they're
So,
pretty,
hmm,
and they keep bugs out of your garden. And we don't
hmm,
like creepy crawlies, so
exactly. Yeah. So it sounds like I should get some marigolds.
yes, yes, the bugs hate them.
That's really interesting. That's cool. And so, if somebody wanted to get more into like the flower side of things, what what are the easier flowers to start with, and what are the more advanced ones?
Well, always when you're getting flowers, make sure that they're local to Florida because
Okay.
of the heat index here. If they're not zoned for Central Florida,
Mhm.
then they're more likely to die. But if they
Okay.
are, then they're a lot easier to take care of. And just read the instructions. If it says it needs 8 hours of sun a day, it really does need 8 hours
Okay.
of sun a day. And if it says to water it once a week or water it twice a day, just follow those instructions. And you can never have enough fertilizer.
Oh, okay.
Fertilizer is great. The first couple years I started gardening. I didn't really fertilize a lot, but it makes a huge difference.
Mhm.
You're feeding it. It's like feeding them spinach.
Right. is
Help
there
them grow big and
is there a
strong.
certain kind that you use, or do you like just go with the type?
Um, they've made it so easy now. Like you'll go and it'll say fertilizer for roses,
Oh,
or
okay.
fertilizer for vegetables.
Mhm.
Like they they make it very user friendly when you're doing
Okay.
fertilizer for orchids.
Right. Right. Oh,
So,
okay. Cool. So it's specific to the plant. Yeah.
Yeah, typically. So it makes it really easy. The instructions tell you how often to fertilize.
Hmm.
Even in my hydroponic aero garden, um, it takes liquid plant food. So it's just
Oh,
water and liquid plant food, and that's what grows the plants.
oh wow, that's cool. So I know you mentioned like vegetables and stuff. Are there like fruits and things that you can grow also, like blueberries, strawberries, like those
You
kinds of
have to
things?
be careful because
Okay.
whatever type of wildlife you have, if you're growing sweet things, they're
Uh-huh.
more likely to come and eat them. Like
Okay.
raccoons will take and literally pick your blueberries or your strawberries right off and sit there and just eat
Yeah.
them one by
Yeah.
one. It's
With their
kind of
little fingers.
crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, I love raccoons.
Yeah. And I have a peach tree here,
Mhm.
and I was so excited. And I went outside, and there were all of these peaches on there. I was
Mhm.
just waiting for them to turn, and I was going to make a wonderful peach cobbler. And I walked out the next day, and all the peaches disappeared, all of them.
Oh my god.
And I don't know what happened. I'm like so perplexed
So you
by it.
said no.
Something ate all of them in
Oh my
one day,
god.
in one night.
Right, right. Do you have like bears? Is that a bear thing? I don't know.
I whatever it is had to climb really high to
Right.
get it. So I don't know if it was maybe some of the bigger birds because we literally had eagles and
Mm,
hawks and
right.
gigantic owls here.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I don't know if they eat that kind of stuff, but it just it was like the
Wow.
Twilight Zone. One day they're here, the next day they're not. I literally stood outside and just looked at it for 30 minutes because I was so confused that
And were
they
there like
all
bits on
disappeared.
there's like no bits on the ground? Like they didn't leave.
Nothing. Just gone. Like I'm like, did a neighbor take them? Well, no, they wouldn't have taken them because they
Yeah.
weren't ripe yet. So
Oh,
I was
right.
just
That's
really confused. But I was so excited about it and lost it. But I also love fruit trees like lemons and limes, and
mm-hmm.
we have an avocado tree and a banana tree.
Oh
Actually,
wow.
several banana trees.
Oh, that's cool.
Um, and the one thing when I first started growing stuff, I literally just wanted to have all the ingredients to make guacamole. So
I
I
love it.
needed cilantro and tomatoes and avocados and limes,
Right.
and
That's
that's what I
awesome.
grew. So,
So are there
um,
things that go after like the citrus trees, like the limes and lemons, or is it like that's not since they're kind of sour?
yeah, they don't really mess with those. The avocados, as
Mhm.
soon as they hit the ground, they get eaten.
Okay.
I've seen some of the bunnies out there eating the avocados,
Oh,
but no one seems to mess with them when they're in the tree. So,
okay.
and it's the big giant Florida avocados. So
Hmm.
it's a little bit different than the California ones.
Okay.
Um, but I, anything like that, I love. I'm actually trying to grow strawberries from
Yeah.
seeds right now.
Oh, okay. Indoors
So
or outdoors?
um, the seeds I start indoors, and then
Hmm.
after it turns into a plant, then I put it outdoors.
Okay.
So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
But I know that a lot of the animals around here will want to eat my strawberries, so I
Unless
have
they're
to
right
figure
on
out
the
how to
ground.
protect it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh man. So does anything eat the bananas? Do you in the banana tree?
No,
No?
no.
That's weird. Just the peaches.
And the bananas, the tree was or the trees were already here.
Mhm.
Hold on one second. Oh, sorry. Hold on
Oh,
one
you're
second.
all right. That's okay. Just a short commercial break for anyone watching.
My son
Uh-huh.
asked to wake him up today at 12, and I tried to wake him up like 15 times, and he didn't wake up. And we're like, hey, do you have to work today? Because he
Right.
usually works at 4 every day. And he said, no, I'm not working today. And we're like, are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
And now he's mad at me because he had to work today and just woke up at 4 o'clock.
No. Well, you tried.
Yeah. So
Well, yeah. Well, when you're talking about the raccoons eating like the little blueberries, so I mentioned to you that I took my daughter to the beach this weekend to my friend Kyle's house, who has a condo on the beach. So we're, at the private beach, which was really nice. But they have like the little marked off spots for the turtle eggs and stuff right now.
Yes.
And so like I call them the turtle cops, but the people that come by to check on the eggs, because I know someone who used to be, again, what I call a turtle cop. And so what they come and check on them. But when I asked them, like, what are they really looking for when they check on them, daily or however many times they check on them, and they said, well, they're looking, of course, to see if there's signs of like hatching or something, but also to make sure nothing's been disturbed, like human or people, or I mean, yeah, human-wise or animals. And they said that coyotes and raccoons are a problem because they eat turtle eggs, but you didn't know that. And he said
Oh no.
he said it's more of a problem, I guess, on the East Coast for whatever reason. I guess the coyotes and the raccoons are over there more. But what was interesting, what I thought, is he said raccoons are so smart, though, is that they actually know to look for the marked off sections on the beach.
I believe that because they can open trash cans too.
Right. So yeah, so they're like, oh, thanks for showing me where the turtle eggs are. But yeah, so that's sad for the turtles, but I like raccoons. I know they're like a nuisance to most people, but I think they're adorable.
I don't mind raccoons at all, as long as they're not like in my attic, which has happened before. But
Really?
yes, as long as they're not in my attic, I don't mind raccoons.
Yeah. What were they doing in your attic?
I don't know. They like there was a little hole, or they had actually taken grating down so that they could get up there,
Oh my
and then
god.
they got stuck and couldn't get back out. So my
Uh,
husband had to help
help.
get them out.
Yeah. Help free the raccoons.
He had to like make openings for them in
Yeah.
certain places until they finally got out. But
Oh my goodness.
yeah, I don't mind them.
Yeah. Yeah. We had again Indiana, but we had like my parents, they have a fireplace or whatever, and there would be like birds and squirrels and things that would get caught in the, like, I guess the flue or whatever you call it, like the chimney part. You could hear them like flapping and like whatever around. So then yeah, it's like my dad would like put on these like leather gloves, like big leather, and then it's like wait for it. Like you have to like basically let it come through the house to get out the house. Like they won't go, they can't get up, so I had to like try and catch him. And I think most of the time it worked out well, but there definitely was a time or two where like the bird was loose in the house trying to get it out the front door.
Oh yeah, I think that's happened to everyone. And you're like, how does it get in? But
Right, right. It doesn't know how to get out. But yeah, so before we run out of time, I have to ask you, do you have any ghost or alien stories or anything that's happened to you or someone you know, like something that's unexplainable?
well, okay. I do have a spirit story, not a
Okay.
ghost
Well,
story.
that's what I mean. Yeah, just
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
But my sister passed away several
Mm-hmm.
years ago now,
Mm-hmm.
and I always feel like she's with me.
Mm-hmm.
And for Christmas every year, she would give us these like different paintings or whatever for our walls, like stuff she
Oh,
had bought, but
yeah.
she always would write a special note to us on the back, me and my
Mm-hmm.
other sister. And half the time it was art that we didn't like or whatever, but because she gave it to us, and
Right.
especially after she passed away, like
Mm-hmm.
I put up more of it. Well,
Mm-hmm.
one day I came home
Mm-hmm.
and every single one of the paintings that she had given me
Mm-hmm.
was sideways. Not like completely sideways, but
Yeah,
they were
yeah,
all
but like
tilted.
off. Yeah.
And nothing else in the room was disturbed. No
Whoa.
other pictures or anything like that. And I
Yeah.
just feel like she definitely wanted to let me know
Yeah.
that she was
She's
there.
around. That's really cool. So were you like creeped out immediately? Like what did you think first when you saw it all?
Well, I immediately thought that's what it was,
Yeah.
but yeah, it kind of freaks you out when you come in. And I went to the kids and to my husband, and I'm like, did you guys move these pictures? Like
Right.
they're all tilted, and
Right.
I'm slightly OCD, so if a picture is not straight on the wall, I notice it immediately,
Right. Right.
and it was just really, it
That's
was a strange feeling, but almost a calming feeling at the same
yeah.
time.
Yeah. That's
So
really neat.
there's that's my story.
Yeah, well, that's a good story. Yeah, they don't have to be scary.
Yeah. Do you have any stories?
I don't actually. No, I've got I'm trying to think. No, I usually say like my one that could have been, I feel like the closest I could have been to a scary thing was when I was in Edinburgh, Scotland. My friend in college, Christina and I went on a underground ghost tour, and
Mm.
in Edinburgh, like it's not it's not the same thing as the London Underground. So it's not a subway, it's like actual underground tunnels that used to be like storage and just different stuff for like the shops above, but they rarely ended up using them because the streets, the rocks, the stones ended up being so porous that like when it rained, like it just got really gross under in the underground. So they said like, if you were like if you couldn't even afford a match, like that's where you live, because there was like a curfew, and like you all, like if you were homeless or whatever, you all got basically forced down into the underground. So it was like a super dangerous and like not great energy like of people. And then there was something where a large group of them got like trapped in like a fire type situation. So they took us down there as a group in these tunnels, and they're not like, it's not like they've lit. I mean, they probably have like the emergency exit at one end, but it's not well lit. Like anyway. And so we've just got the guide with the flashlight, and he brings us into one room and tells us a creepy story, and tells us about a different tour group that he brought, and how like a mom and her kid, not like a super young kid, but because then that's questionable why they're on the tour. But the mom and their kid were on the tour and holding hands. And when they come into this room, I forget what the story of the room was, but they turn their lights out to give you a feeling of what it really was like back then, about how black, like pitch black is. And so they said that when they turned the lights off with this one and then turned it back on, this kid's like standing over in the far corner, and the kid didn't know what happened, didn't notice, like didn't realize he wasn't next to his mom. The mom said she never let go of his hand, like never felt him let go of her hand. And so everyone was like creeped out. So I don't know how true that story was, or if they were just trying to set us up for something creepy. So after they tell us that story, then they tell us they're going to turn the lights out. So of course, like, so Christine and I are like holding hands and like locked arms, like, hoping that neither one of us gets taken to the other side of the room.
Yeah,
But
that's scary.
yeah, so nothing happened to our group. But it was cool, like back in the lobby of this place where, it's like, I forget now, it was probably some kind of like a Scottish whiskey or something, but it's like every tour at the end, like you got a shot of something. It's like, so when we're in the final room where you get your shot, I guess, to take off, take the edge off, they had pictures like all over the wall of where, and letters where people had mailed in after the fact of the tour, and taken pictures of like scratches and marks and things on their arms or whatever, and like stories of stuff that they felt or experienced. And so you saw all of that. It's like, well, like even if some of them are bogus, like I don't think they all could, like, they all could be. So that's my creepy story, is that I put myself in a spot where something really creepy could have happened. But yeah,
Wow.
that's my ghost story. But yeah, so my final question for you is, do you have any final words?
We've definitely ended up on weird topics today, but I just will say that I have enjoyed our conversation anyway, and
Awesome.
sorry for my little interruption, but
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, we're working from home.
we're
This is what
live,
it is.
so
I know. Yeah, this is live. This is what it
but
is.
yeah, I I look forward to getting to know you better.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for being on. And yeah, this is exactly what this show is supposed to be, where we just like have a couple things that like trigger whatever conversations and we go where we go. But ends
I
up
love it.
talking about frogs and spiders and roaches, like so be it. And hopefully no one, including us, has nightmares about him tonight. We talked
Exactly,
about him so
exactly.
much. That's awesome. Well, thank you so much, Melissa, for being on. I really appreciate it.
Anytime.
Yeah. And so I guess we'll sign off. So everyone who was watching live or watches, as I say, into infinity, because it'll be up on YouTube. So until the internet or YouTube shuts down, we'll be up on there. So thank you for watching. This has been Virtual Tea Time with Amy. I'm Amy with Houses of Windsor. And this was Melissa Wing with Thrive. So thank you so much. Have a great evening, everyone.
Thank you, guys.
Cheers.